First contact and discovery. The massive Confederation survey vessel Celestial Cartographer decelerated as it approached the third planet of an unremarkable yellow star. Commander Zilak stood on the observation deck, all six of his eyes focused on the vibrant blue-green world that filled the view screen. Another life-bearing world. He noted to Science Officer Thela. Preliminary scans. Thela's silvery skin rippled as she consulted her data tablet. Oxygen-nitrogen atmosphere. Surface is 71% water. Moderate technological development. Internal combustion engines. Basic electronics. Primitive nuclear technology. And rudimentary space exploration limited to their immediate orbital vicinity and their satellite. Classification. Category 3. Pre-Confederation development stage. They've barely left their gravity well, Thela replied. Their technological progression appears unusually erratic. They advanced rapidly in some areas while remaining primitive in others. Zilak nodded, his cranial ridge pulsing with thoughtful colors. The Galactic Confederation had categorized thousands of worlds in its 50,000-year history. Category 3 civilizations were common, species still finding their way to the stars, unaware of the vast community that awaited them. Such worlds were approached carefully, with established protocols for minimal cultural disruption. Prepare a first contact team, Zilak ordered. Standard protocols for a developing world. Let's introduce ourselves gently. As the Confederation shuttle descended through Earth's atmosphere, humans worldwide watched in fascination and fear. Military jets escorted the alien craft to a designated landing zone outside the United Nations headquarters in Geneva, where a reception committee awaited. Dr. Ilara Chen, Earth's appointed diplomatic representative, stood calmly as the shuttle's door opened. She was a woman of average height with keen eyes that reflected decades of diplomatic experience. Behind her stood military officials, scientists, and political leaders from various nations, all trying to maintain composure despite the historic moment. What emerged from the shuttle surprised the Confederation team. They had expected panic, religious fervor, or wide-eyed wonder, the typical reactions of species encountering interstellar visitors for the first time. Instead, the humans appeared remarkably composed, almost as if they had been expecting them. "Welcome to Earth," Dr. Chen said simply, making the universal gesture of open hands. "We are honored by your presence and hope this marks the beginning of peaceful relations between our worlds." Zilak emerged from the shuttle, towering over the humans at nearly 3 meters tall. His translator processed her words, and he found himself impressed by her poise. "The Galactic Confederation extends greetings to Earth," he replied formally. "We come in peace and with an offer of friendship." Over the following days, information was exchanged. The Confederation representatives explained their alliance of 3,000 spacefaring civilizations spanning 3 spiral arms of the galaxy. Earth was invited to become a protectorate, the standard status offered to developing worlds not yet ready for full membership. During a quiet moment between formal sessions, Dr. Chen spoke candidly with Zilak. "Your people view us as children," she observed without hostility. Zilak hesitated before answering. "Your civilization is young. Most Confederation members have continuous histories spanning tens of thousands of years. Your recorded history covers merely a few millennia." Dr. Chen smiled enigmatically. "Records can be incomplete, Commander." Meanwhile, Science Officer Thela was becoming increasingly perplexed by her survey findings. "Commander," she reported privately, "our deep scans are detecting anomalies." "Explain," Zilak demanded. "There are traces of highly advanced alloys buried deep beneath several continents, materials similar to those used in Confederation quantum computing. The radiation patterns in certain regions don't match natural development, and there are structures on their moon that appear artificially preserved, perhaps debris from more advanced civilizations." "That was my initial hypothesis," Thela admitted, "but the materials contain human DNA markers. It's as if," she hesitated, "it's as if someone deliberately erased evidence of prior technological advancement." Zilak frowned. "That's impossible. The genetic record clearly shows humans evolved naturally on this planet. Yes, but genetics can be altered, Commander. When the Confederation team mentioned their desire to explore Earth's moon, Dr. Chen surprised them by immediately offering full cooperation and transportation. Earth's primitive shuttles should have been inadequate for the task, yet somehow they managed the journey with surprising efficiency. On the lunar surface, Thila's instruments detected energy signatures beneath the regolith of the Mare Tranquillitatis. As excavation drones cleared away the dust, the team fell silent at what was revealed: a massive door made of an unknown black material that absorbed light rather than reflected it. "This is impossible," whispered one of the Confederation scientists. "These humans barely reached their moon 50 years ago. They couldn't have built this." Dr. Chen approached the door and placed her palm against a specific panel. To everyone's shock, the panel illuminated with blue light, and the massive door began to slide open. "How did you?" Thila began. "DNA recognition," Dr. Chen replied simply. "It was waiting for us to return." "Return?" Zilax questioned, his skin paling. The chamber beyond was vast, extending deep beneath the lunar surface. As they entered, environmental systems activated, systems that had lain dormant for what dating suggested was at least 30,000 years. Lights flickered on to reveal row upon row of preserved technology, data storage units, and artifacts of unmistakably human design. At the center stood a pedestal with a crystalline device. When Dr. Chen activated it, holographic images filled the air around them. Images of Earth from thousands of years ago, showing massive cities, orbital stations, and ships traveling to distant stars. "This contradicts all established history," Zilax whispered, his scientific certainty crumbling. "Not history," Dr. Chen corrected. "Memory." The hologram shifted to show terrible scenes: planets burning, fleets engaged in battle, and finally, Earth itself scared by weapons of unimaginable power. "What happened?" Thila asked, her scientific mind struggling to accept what she was seeing. "War," Dr. Chen said grimly. "A war so terrible our ancestors made the most difficult choice imaginable." As the Confederation team tried to process this revelation, an urgent message arrived from their ship. Strange energy signatures had been detected at the edge of the solar system, signatures that matched no known civilization in the Confederation database. Dr. Chen's communicator chimed simultaneously. She glanced at it, her expression growing grave. "It seems," she said quietly, "that the remembering must happen sooner than we planned." Revelation and awakening. Alarms blared throughout the Confederation flagship as Commander Zilax rushed to the command center. Emergency lights cast an eerie glow over the worried faces of his crew. "Report," he demanded. "Sir, we've lost contact with 3 outer monitoring stations," his communications officer replied, voice tight with concern. The last transmission mentioned unknown vessels appearing without warning. Before Zilax could respond, a priority message flashed across the main screen. The image showed chaos: buildings in flames, strange dark ships filling the sky, and energy weapons cutting through Confederation defenses. "This is Administrator Joral of Colony Epsilon," a panicked voice announced. "We are under attack by an unknown force. Our shields are useless against their weapons. They're not responding to any communication attempts. Send help immediately." The transmission abruptly terminated. 3 days after the lunar discovery, the peaceful exploration had been shattered by the appearance of a hostile force from beyond Confederation space. They called themselves Nothing, but Confederation forces had dubbed them the Void for the way their ships seemed to absorb light and energy. On Earth, Dr. Chen worked in a hidden facility beneath the Global Council headquarters. Around her, technicians and scientists operated equipment far more advanced than anything humans had publicly demonstrated possessing. "The Void has breached the heliopause," reported a technician, monitoring a holographic display that showed Earth's solar system in stunning detail. "Confederation defenses are failing." Dr. Chen nodded gravely. Then we have no choice. She turned to face the representatives from Earth's nations who had gathered. The time has come for humanity to accept its heritage and its responsibility. Xilax and Thela were escorted into the underground facility, their bewilderment growing with each passing moment. The technology surrounding them was far beyond what a Category 3 civilization should possess, in many ways, beyond even Confederation capabilities. What is the meaning of this? Xilax demanded. Dr. Chen gestured toward a raised platform at the center of the facility. It's time you learned the truth, Commander. Not just about humanity, but about the enemy you now face. A column of light appeared on the platform, gradually forming into a humanoid figure. Unlike the crude holograms of Earth's public technology, this projection was virtually indistinguishable from reality. I am Atlas, the figure announced, guardian intelligence of Earth and keeper of humanity's legacy. 35,000 years ago, Atlas continued, humans didn't live in caves. We ruled a federation spanning 300 star systems. The chamber darkened as images appeared around them. Vast cities floating among the clouds, ships capable of folding space, and technology that manipulated the fundamental forces of the universe. We called ourselves the Terran Ascendancy, Dr. Chen explained. We were the first in this region of space to achieve interstellar travel. For millennia, we expanded, explored, and built wonders across the stars. This is impossible, Thela whispered. The Confederation archives contain no record of this. Because we erased ourselves from history, Atlas replied. We had no choice. The images shifted to show terrifying vessels of living darkness, ships that absorbed matter and energy, leaving only void behind. The harvesters, Dr. Chen said grimly. An intelligence from the space between galaxies. They consume all in their path. Resources, technology, life itself. We fought for centuries, Atlas continued. We developed weapons of unimaginable power, planet killers, star extinguishers, reality warpers. Eventually, we won, but at a terrible cost. The hologram displayed devastated worlds, shattered fleets, and billions dead. After the war, humanity faced a choice, Dr. Chen explained. The weapons we created were too powerful, too dangerous. We feared what we might become if we continued down that path. So your ancestors abandoned technology? Xilax asked incredulously. They enacted the forgetting, Atlas corrected. A deliberate regression to pre-technological society. Genetic modifications to reduce aggression. Carefully planted archaeological evidence to suggest a different history, a return to simplicity. But they preserved knowledge. Thela noted, understanding dawning. The lunar vault, this facility. Sanctuaries of knowledge, preserved for when humanity would need to remember, Dr. Chen confirmed. Select individuals in every generation, the guardians, maintained the secret, watching for signs of the harvester's return. And now they have returned, Atlas stated. They remember humanity, even if humanity forgot itself. That is why they have come, to ensure humans never rise again. The void, Xilax whispered. They're the same entity you call the harvesters. Yes, Dr. Chen replied. And your Confederation doesn't possess the technology to stop them. Before Xilax could respond, a technician called out, Harvester fleet has breached Mars orbit. Confederation vessels are falling back. Dr. Chen's expression hardened. Initiate the awakening protocol. Across Earth, hidden facilities hummed to life. In orbit, satellites that had appeared to be simple communication relays transformed, revealing weapon systems of incredible power. Deep beneath the oceans, ancient defense platforms awakened. On screens throughout the chamber, they watched as Earth's dormant defenses activated. Beams of coherent energy lanced out from lunar installations, cutting through harvester vessels. Confederation observers watched in awe as Earth's primitive shuttles transformed mid-flight, reconfiguring into advanced fighters that moved with impossible speed. You deceived the Confederation, Xilax accused, though his voice lacked conviction as he watched the defensive miracle unfolding. "We protected ourselves," Dr. Chen corrected. "The forgetting wasn't just about the dangers of our own technology. It was strategic. The harvesters hunt advanced civilizations. By appearing primitive, we remained beneath their notice while we recovered. Until now," Thela observed. "Until now," Atlas confirmed. "The harvesters have evolved. They recognize the subtle signs of our presence even through our camouflage." As they spoke, a massive harvester vessel approached Earth, its surface rippling like living darkness. It dwarfed the Confederation flagship, stretching nearly 100 kilometers from end to end. "That is their command ship," Atlas stated. "If it reaches Earth's atmosphere, not even our awakened defenses will be sufficient." Dr. Chen turned to Zelax. "Commander, we need the Confederation's help. Not with technology, but with coordination. Your people can rally other worlds while we hold the line here." Zelax stood silently for a moment, processing everything he had learned. His entire understanding of galactic history had been upended in mere days, yet the threat before them was undeniable. "The Confederation stands with Earth," he said finally. On screens throughout the facility, they watched as hidden human vessels emerged from camouflaged bases on Mars, the asteroid belt, and even the moons of Jupiter. Ships that had lain dormant for millennia, maintained in secret by generations of guardians, now joined Confederation forces in a united defense. Dr. Chen approached a control platform and placed her hands on its surface. Holographic controls appeared around her. "The harvesters cannot be reasoned with," she stated. "They cannot be appeased. They can only be stopped." She looked to Zelax and Thela, then to the representatives of Earth's nations. "Humanity forgot its past to ensure its future. Now we remember not just what we were, but what we can become." Her fingers danced across the holographic interface, not conquerors of stars, but their guardians. As the massive harvester command ship approached, Earth's orbital defenses aligned. Atlas's voice resonated throughout the chamber, initiating Prometheus Protocol. The sleeping giant had awakened, and the stars themselves would bear witness to what followed.